And it looks like we've had a repeat of the India-Sri Lanka game from the Asia Cup last month. Welcome to the Shiny Side. I'm your host, Fareed Shah, and we have with us as a guest today for the first time on the show, Fahd Basir. How are you doing, Fahd?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Good stuff. So before we get into the game, I'm quickly going to do the 33-second summary, which will not take long, because the game didn't take long either. To kick things off, Sri Lanka opted to chase, not sure why. Rohit was out on the second ball. There was a 190-run partnership between Kohli and Gill, both of whom got 90s. Once they got out, Iyer got a 90 as well. India finished at 357. And then Bumrah got a wicket in the first ball. Siraj got 3 more wickets with only 4 more runs added. And Shami came and got a 5-5er. And somehow, unbelievably, Sri Lanka were 55 all out. So clearly, normally we struggle to finish the summary in time, but 4 seconds under because a lot didn't happen today. So Fahad, what's the initial reaction? Kaisa laga match?
As you said, it was a repeat of the Asia Cup final. I think the Sri Lankan team was deeply scarred by that match, and I think it showed in this match today. So yeah, it was total annihilation by India. Bowling was amazing. Siraj, Shami were amazing with the ball, and I didn't expect this easy of a win, but yeah.
I guess it's interesting point, right? Because we Asia Cup के final की हमने जिक्र किया, उसके बाद इंडिया और श्रीलंका दोनों ने 7 matches खेले. India has bowled fairly well. Sri Lanka has had the issues, but this is clearly India's best performance with the ball, and clearly Sri Lanka's worst. So, do you think they is there some kind of a mental hold does India have against Sri Lanka, or what's the deal? Because Sri Lanka has batted all right. They've scored 300 plus, I think, in 3 games in the World Cup so far.
I think that's what it is. As I said, they've been probably deeply scarred by the, being all out for 50 odd in the Asia Cup final. It was, that's what's still with them. And facing the same bowling lineup, they were already, with the total India posted, they were already in their mind, they were saying, okay, we can't do this. Yeah. That's what was.
Yeah, I think if you started the toss right, so India went in unchanged. Sri Lanka opted to chase. In hindsight, obviously yes, but at that point, did you think was there a question mark on that decision, or that made sense?
That made sense because if you see, Sri Lanka started really well. They were bowling really well. Within the first 10 overs, Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill were dropped. Yes, the Shubman Gill, chance could have been easily taken, but the Virat Kohli was a bit difficult one where, it was pretty fast, so that was he couldn't have taken it. But yeah, if they would have probably, taken those catches, it would have been a different story.
True.
If Sri Lanka would have capitalized on them.
Okay, and I guess we have to talk about this, right? So Rohit makes it a point to give India these really rapid starts, right? But it seems like, so if you look at India's records in the last year in the power play, Rohit's strike rate is 110, but Gill is 95 and Kohli is 70. So it seems like the way to keep India quiet in the beginning is to get Rohit early, because Gill and Kohli do not seem to come in with the same way. Sure, they'll catch up eventually. Kohli's strike rate in the last year or so is about 90 and Gill's is 95. But just initial power play ka time, if you get Rohit early, it's probably a good opportunity for the stronger teams to keep India quiet at the beginning.
Rohit is the captain of the country. If he stays on, तो बाकी players को भी confidence आता है कि सही हमारा captain है, तो we can easily build on, and वो pressure कम होगा. वो उनका जो captain बात करता है आपसे, तो easily आपका एक player जो दूसरा player होता है, वो आराम से he eases into his play, आराम से खेल रहा है. Rohit Sharma takes the pressure off him, because Rohit Sharma, as you said, has a strike rate of 110.
I think it's the strike rate, right? Because with Kohli, okay, fine. Even if you can get Kohli 30 balls into his innings, he won't do so much damage. But if you give Rohit 35 balls, he's probably batting at 50 and give India that start which they need.
True. And again, they posted such a big total because of the drop catches. Both the players who went on to score 92 and 88 respectively, if they would have been taken up front, it would, Sri Lanka could have, done something, but
Madhu Shankar, again, he's looking really good. He obviously got a 5-wicket haul. The ball he got Rohit with first up was probably, most people would have got a lot of batsmen out. But unfortunately, I don't think, I guess the backup cast wasn't just coming to the party with Sri Lanka.
Oh, the second bowler was Chamira. I don't know if I pronounced correctly. Yeah, Chameera was excellent with the ball. He was unlucky not to get more wickets, but he was amazing with the ball, the way he was swinging. And he did beat Kohli quite a lot of times. And, he bowled, the first overs he bowled were maidens, and that were two against Kohli. One, the first over, which was a maiden, was faced by Gill, the other was by Kohli.
Yeah.
So things were quiet, and that's what led to those catches, the chances. And if they would have, Kamira, yes, Madhushankar was amazing with the ball. He did take 4 wickets, but I think Kamira was the better bowler in terms of line and length.
Yeah, unlucky. Okay, interesting. Yeah. And before we move on to the second innings, in terms of India's batting lineup, so I've been saying this on the show for a while. In my view, Shreyas Iyer is a bit of a question mark. I know he got 90 today, but I think there's a difference in scoring 90 when you're coming into bat at 200 for 1 in 30 overs versus when you come in a pressure situation. How do you see his spot? Do you think he's done enough to justify his slot, or do you think Ishan Kishan, or once Hardik Pandya comes back for that matter, do you think his spot is at risk?
See, Hardik Pandya is an all-rounder. If he comes back, I don't think Shreyas Iyer. I mean, it is a tough call. It all depends on the day, the form. But yes, I would take Hardik Pandya over Shreyas Iyer any day.
Of course, and Pandya comes in for sure. The question is who goes out, right? Yeah.
So for now, I think it's Surya Kumar Yadav wasn't looking in his best form. Yeah. So I think Surya Kumar Yadav would probably give way for Hardik Pandya.
I think I actually feel like if I was in India, I would probably think about figuring out a way of getting Ishan Kishan in for Iyer. Also because he's a left-hander, he bats a bit differently, and also because I think the tricky thing now is there's 2 games to go. So India can't make a change in the semi-final. अगर उन्होंने change करना है तो अगले मैच में change करना है.
Yes, but अगर ये देखो ना कि Shreyas Iyer, if you saw his innings, or it all depends on the pitch and who you're facing.
Yeah.
They were facing Sri Lanka, and before Iyer got out, अगर तुम वो 2-6 देखो जो उसने मारे, they were, I mean, as a bowler, I would have lost confidence totally. So, yes. Those were amazing shots. Yes, Kishan is really good, but I think if अगर आपके पास momentum एक चल रहा है एक player का, तो I don't think switching that player would help the team. क्योंकि Kishan भी एक he was dropped and then brought up back again in the team, तो एक confidence का issue आ जाएगा. So I think the best 11 right now is the 11 that you're playing.
Okay, makes sense. On last thing on India's 11, आज से 6 हफ्ते पहले in the pecking order of the fast bowlers, it was Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
What is the pecking order today, in your view?
I think it's the same. Bumrah is coming back from injury, and
but what I mean is, has Shami gone ahead of Siraj? Or because basically, when Pandya comes back, right? If they go back to the old balance, then a quick will go out. So who would you be keeping? Would you keep Siraj or would you keep Shami?
That's a tough question. Shami has taken 15 wickets in the last 3 matches, 14 wickets. And that's huge. But I think with the new ball in the opening overs, I think Siraj is better. If I had to play, and Shami has been doing really well, if I had to play, I would probably play them both and drop Bumrah. But again, I think those 3 remain. I wouldn't drop any of them.
I mean, Bumrah is not going to get dropped, like no matter what.
Exactly. And I don't think Shami or Siraj with the recent performance will get dropped as well. They might drop another player from the remaining 8, but not these 3, because they are the ones who are making the difference.
I mean, I guess when Pandya comes, I think one of them will go, right? Because otherwise, you can either take out a spinner, but then Jadeja or Kuldeep, that doesn't make sense, because you want the spinners in your side. Or you take out one of the batsmen, but then the batting is a bit weak.
Yeah, but
just keep in mind that all 4 of these guys, Bumrah, Shami, Siraj, and Kuldeep don't bat. So if you play all 4 of them, like they have today, the tail is pretty long. Against Sri Lanka, it's fine, but against a stronger opponent in a World Cup knockout, they probably will not play all of them. That's my take.
Yeah, for example, if you playing against South Africa, which is their next game, I don't think, you're right. The 3 paces won't be, I mean, South Africa would kill them.
I mean, and it may work on Sunday, but if it's a knockout game, right, and Pandya is available, then what do you do? Like, that's the real issue here.
I think I would, based on today's performance, I would go with Siraj.
Yeah, the only reason I feel like Siraj takes it for me is because I think India's weakness in the last few years has been somebody taking wickets in the first 5 to 8 overs, right? Like over 1, that's what you need. And exactly. Siraj has not had the best time in the last month, but consistently been taking wickets with a new ball. So I feel like I would probably back in for that.
And
It's a good problem to have.
हाँ, और शामी ने क्या किया जब वो पूरी शुरू की विकेट गिर गई, तो he's come back and finished off the tail. So Shami is not a new ball bowler for me. Siraj takes the cake, and Siraj, I would praise Siraj any day.
I think one final thing on this game. So from a tournament's context, this game wasn't that, people didn't really think it had much of an impact because India was going to stay number one. Sri Lanka is effectively out. But I think given the margin, I was expecting India might catch up with South Africa's strike rate here. But what we've seen now is South Africa's strike rate is still 2.2 and India is 1.7. So if South Africa beats India, then South Africa is probably looking, if because the run rate is higher, they can probably finish top of the table. That obviously has implications for who they play and where they play and so on and so forth. So again, that depends a lot on Sunday's game and whether South Africa can beat India or not.
I mean, as a Pakistani, मैं तो biased हूँ कि yes, I would want to play South Africa rather than India this time.
Well, as a Pakistani, पहले आपने मैच जीतना है परसों, and उसके बाद and a lot of other stuff needs to happen. But
हम तो सब hopeful हैं कि हम लोग इंशाल्लाह जाएंगे. But yeah, South Africa again, because it's a long tournament, so run rate इतना affect नहीं हुआ despite the huge win. But yeah, there's 300 plus run win, but it's not impact आएगा.
Amazing, right? 300 plus runs की win. यहाँ पे 300 बनते नहीं है team से, including us. But again, before we move on to tomorrow's game, quick comment from you on Pakistan in this tournament. So, do you think in the last game we just won the game because we had the team which was mentally checked out, almost home, or do you think it's a bit of a turnaround for us and we have a serious shot against New Zealand?
Okay. With Pakistan, yes, the victory will help us. However, we need to make significant improvements. अगर आप देखें, yes, Fakhar Zaman did come and he, हमने जो 6 मार नहीं रहे थे, उसने आके एक इनिंग में 7 खेला. But, on the flip side, he had 39 dot balls, which is a big concern for me. क्योंकि, अगर आप run up ball भी नहीं कर रहे, चलो आप आधी भी करें, तो you would have been 20 runs ahead. और आप you could have finished the match earlier. So मेरा concern जो dot balls है, again, I've seen in your previous podcast as well, and the general consensus is that हम लोग सिर्फ 4 और 4 and 6 नहीं score करते हैं. So, we need to take those singles and doubles if we want to win against New Zealand, because that's what probably will make the difference.
Just a counter stat for you. South Africa in 13 overs yesterday played 50 dot balls, but they made 350.
Yeah.
But I guess, as long as you're hitting boundaries, it's a fair point, right? Like those are the easy wins which you're leaving out there. But
क्योंकि South Africa चलो सही है, एक मैच में किया, but if you see the other matches, they do hit 4 and 6s, but they keep the scorecard ticking. वो नहीं है कि slowing down the rate up, so yeah, Pakistan, I would want them to improve on the dot balls.
Cool. Let's quickly look at India's remaining fixtures. We mentioned there's Kolkata, South Africa, and then there's Netherlands and Bengaluru. So right, obviously India will not be NR to qualify, but I think it'll basically Sunday's game will become a playoff for who finishes first, and then that's it for this game. Now tomorrow we have another game. We have Afghanistan taking on Netherlands. Now at this point, Afghanistan, this game is at Lucknow. They're still in a position to they can go up to a maximum of 12 points, but they have to play Netherlands tomorrow, then South Africa and Australia. So what's your take for tomorrow? Do you think Afghanistan have a chance or Netherlands will?
I don't know if you know or not, but in 2019, Afghanistan played a home series in Lucknow against West Indies. They played 3 ODIs, 3 T20s, and one test match. And they know, I guess I would root for Afghanistan in this match because they know how the conditions are. Yeah, it was 4 years ago, but still, they know the ground more than the Dutch. So yeah, I think Afghanistan, and based on their current performances with the bat and the ball, it is Afghanistan should take.
Okay. Before we finish up, there's one last thing, which is we have these quizzes on the show, which you might have seen. So I guess the question is, today is India and Sri Lanka last faced each other in an ICC knockout in the final of the 2011 ODI World Cup. Who were the top scorers for both teams?
Dhoni.
This is obviously the World Cup which India won in 2011.
Yeah. I'm thinking Dhoni because I think he finished the match, but I don't exactly remember. But I mean, he went on to score 50. It was probably Dhoni and Sangakkara, I guess.
Okay, so
and that's a guess.
The answer is actually Mahela and Gambhir.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I
Okay.
think Gambhir loves talking about it, right? He keeps talking about how people remember Dhoni because he hit the final 6, but Dhoni actually made 91. Gambhir made 97, and Gambhir was like his batting at the top. So you were close.
Yeah.
But good stuff, Fahd. Thank you for being on the show.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
I hope to have you again at some point. And
let's pray that Pakistan go on to win the world.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a couple of days. Let's see. Let's hope it goes well for Pakistan. But in the meantime, if you like the video, please like the video, subscribe to our channel. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon previewing the New Zealand Pakistan game coming up on Saturday. In the meantime, stay tuned to the shiny side.